Good day everyone. Now we will discuss the Module 3, which is all about employing the appropriate communicative styles for various situations. So we will start on page 3. We will start by what I know. So the coronavirus disease affected the lives of many individuals in many different aspects, from the way we live to the way we communicate with other people. Below are some of the common conversations or statements we see and hear during this time of pandemic. The directions identify the communicative speech style in each sentence. Your answers might be intimate, casual, formal, frozen, or consultative. So among those 15 items, you will read those statement or conversation and you will identify if it is intimate, casual, formal, frozen, or consultative. So your answers will vary here. 5. So we have 5 choices here. You will write the answers. For example, on your answer sheet, you will write 1 to 15. Then number 1, read. Then you will just write the answer. If it is intimate, casual, formal, or frozen, or consultative. Second one will be what's in. From the list of statements in the box, choose the most appropriate one that fits the given situation. Write the letter of your answer on the answer sheet. For example, you will write 1 to 10. Then also read, the medical director gives supplies to the hospital staff. So what will be the most suited statement here in number 1? For example, number 1, the medical director gives supplies to the hospital staff, which is the most related, connected statement among the choices A to J. So you will write only the letter. So here in what's in, copy the statements on the blank table by categorizing the statements based on the different communicative conditions, if it is greeting, feedback, or reminder. So we will have it here. So the table will be greeting, reminder, feedback. And you will also include it if it is under intimate, casual, frozen, consultative, or formal. So when you say greeting, it is the one we are using to greet other people. Reminder, to remind some of the thoughts that they need to do or to follow. Feedback, in conversation, there should be a feedback, meaning your response. That you have to respond, you have to reply. That's feedback. So you will copy that table on your answer sheet. Then you will, for example, thank you for your untiring support. Our company is aiming to produce more medical supplies for the patients and frontliners. So where will it fall? Is it under greeting, reminder, or feedback? Under intimate, casual, frozen, consultative, or formal. So all of these statements will be having right places here on the table. Employing the appropriate communicative styles for various situations. It is important to recognize the different communicative styles in various situations. Good communication skills can help you avoid conflict and solve problems. These communication styles are vital to encourage healthy relationships toward others. A speech style is a form of language that speaker employs according to the level of formality, according to Martin Juice 1967. Speech style is identified into 5 types: frozen, formal, consultative, casual, and intimate. So when we say speech style, it is our style. It is how we talk or how we have conversation to other people. For example, what speech style will be used if we are talking to a professional, if we are talking to our friends, if we are talking to our siblings, to our parents, or to the President of the Philippines, or if we are having text came from the administration, what speech style will be used or what speech style should be used. So the first one will be frozen. Frozen is the highest form of communication, identified as a fixed speech. It is specific in form as it uses complex grammatical sentence structure and vocabulary known by the experts in a particular field. Frozen is most used in formal ceremonies like plays, weddings, funerals, and more. These thus involve a give and take communication, making this an unidirectional, meaning of uni, meaning one. So most or all of the frozen speech styles are not requiring a response, meaning you will just read and comprehend. For example, the ceremonies we have in church, the lines that the priest or the celebrant is saying, that is frozen because it will never change, or it is not change usually. So it is fixed, meaning it is very followed. It is concise, particular line to be used in a particular ceremony. So it's very random, or it's very unusual to change this one. So if there will be revisions, it will really take time to change if you will change the frozen one. So for example, what do we hear if we are attending ceremonies in funeral, in baptism, in wedding? So there are lines that always repeated. So those will be frozen. Second one will be formal. When you say formal, it is used normally in writing rather than in speaking, thus eliciting a more formal kind of speech. Use of ellipses, contractions, and qualifying adverbials is eliminated. Typically, it is unidirectional and informative, but just pure information can sometimes be dull, therefore it's occasionally persuasive too. So when we say formal, it is more written. For example, an order, or a law, a provision. Handbook also is a formal one, wherein you will see some of the rules that you have to follow. Also the speeches, the written one, and also the oral one, it can be formal. When you say formal, it doesn't use ellipses, contractions, and qualifying adverbials. What do you mean by contractions? Meaning the combination of the word you and are. For example, I'm, the combination of I and am. So we will not shorten those words. We will not use contractions. When I say contractions, you are combining words to make it short. Like your, I'm, where, as in we are. So we will not use that. And instead, we will use the complete one. So that is formal. Again, frozen, it is fixed. It is very unusual if you will change it. And frozen, formal also, but it is fixed. While formal, it is somehow written, but it is not that fixed. That it is depending on the speaker. But it's formal because maybe they are professional, they are public officials, or they are the administrators. But it is changing depending on the speaker. Unlike the frozen, it is fixed already. Consultative. When you say consultative, it is also called as unplanned speech because it allows the speaker to use the participation and feedback of the listener. It is bidirectional or sometimes multidirectional in nature, wherein the speaker supplies the necessary information and the listener participates continuously. Consultative, meaning of bidirectional, meaning two, or multi-directional, meaning there are times that they are having conversation and it is not fixed because it is depending on the speaker, on depending also to the one who is speaking of on what he will respond, on what he will reply to the speaker. So that is consultative. For example, teacher to parents or a patient to doctor, that will be consultative, meaning your reply will be based on the speaker. For example, the speaker will be the doctor. If the doctor will say, "How are you? How do you feel? What do you feel? Is it painful?" So the answer varies depending upon the question or the statement given first by the speaker. So that is consultative. That's the reason why it is unplanned, because it is not scripted. Your reply will be based on the statement given first by the speaker. So you have to listen first before you reply. So that will be consultative. Frozen, formal, but fixed. Formal, it is formal, but it is depending on the speaker. It is most used in writing rather than speaking. Consultative, your reply, or you are in another. Consultative, you are talking with high respect because maybe you are talking with professional. So you should be mindful of the words you are saying. For example, you are talking to the doctor, you are talking to a teacher, you are talking to other profession. So you should be mindful of the words and you are expected to be respectful to them. And your reply will be based on what they will say. And when we say casual, it employs a free and easy participation of both the speaker and listener. It is also called informal style since it is common among peers and friends. It is multidirectional and typically spoken in nature by people who belong in the same group or team. But it can also be used in writing, text messaging, emails, or online chats. Now that we are in pandemic, we are having this one casual because we are missing face-to-face conversation. So we are having online applications to catch up with the moments, with the experiences, to have conversation with our friends, of our classmates. So we are using words that sometimes offensive to other people, but if you are having the same interpretation, understanding with your friend, you can use that because you are in the same group, you are in the same team. For example, your classmates, you can have casual because it is less formal, it is informal because you are talking, you are very comfortable with what you say, with what you reply, because you know that you're talking to your friend or you are talking to someone who understands whatever you are saying. So intimate style is private and practiced in dialogues between very close individuals, leading to a high chance of non-verbal communication. Bidirectional and typically spoken in nature, can also be used in writing, text messaging, emails, or online chats with close family members and close friends. Similar to casual style, it is also employing free and easy participation of both the speaker and the listener. So if we have casual, the formal, to our friends, to our classmates, to the intimate one, it is very less informal because you are talking to the closest people you have in your life. For example, your best friend, your best cousin, your close sibling, your parents. So you are talking very deep. You can also include in intimate your problems, or if you are very happy, if you are very sad, you can use the intimate one. That you don't need to consider the formality, the contractions. You can use that, or you may use that. That you are less mindful because you are talking to the one who who you are considering that very close to you, you are considering that person or that people will understand you. So intimate, it is having a high emotion, wherein even you cry, it's still a part of communication, because it conveys a particular message. If you cry, meaning you can be extremely happy or you can be sad. So when you say intimate, it is less formal. They are both less formal, casual and intimate. But when you say intimate, it is more close, it is more deep. Casual, you are talking to your friend, you are talking to your classmates. But sometimes there are conversations that even though it is less formal, you cannot do it to your friends because the trust will not be completely there. Unlike in intimate, you are trusting the one you are talking with. Okay, we will go back to as a review. Frozen, it is formal and it is fixed, cannot be changed. And if it will be changed, it will really take time. Formal, it is formal from the word itself, but it is more in writing. However, it is not fixed. It is depending on the speaker. Consultative, you are having conversation to someone who is professional or to someone who is in authority. So you are expected to be respectful. However, in frozen and formal, they are not requiring a response most of the time. So we have frozen, formal, consultative. They are formal. While in casual and intimate, it is less informal. Casual, talking to your friends. While intimate, you are talking to your closest friends or family members, siblings, and any people who is very close to your heart and to your life. So independent activity number 1, identify the appropriate communicative style for each illustration. Write the answer on the blanks provided. So you will write if it is consultative, frozen, formal, casual, or intimate based on the picture. So independent assessment 1, identify the communicative style described in the following sentences, whether frozen, formal, consultative, casual, or intimate. Write the answers on the blank, or you will just simply write the number, and after the number you will write your answer, your specific answer, which will suit to the statement. For example, in number 1, this is an informal speech style as it is common among peer and friends. Is it frozen, formal, consultative, casual, or intimate? So same thing, after reading and understanding each statement in each number, you will identify what communicative style is being used. So you will just choose, your answers will vary among these 5 choices. Independent activity number 2, identify the communicative speech style used in each line, whether intimate, formal, consultative, frozen, or casual. So same thing, you will write independent activity number 2, then the numbers. Number 1, priest. Number 2, master of ceremonies, patient, Christy, husband. So like what we have discussed a while ago, if we are talking in a ceremony, in a formal one, to our friend, to a professional, to our intimate partner, to our intimate family member, what will be the communicative speech style? So you will write it. Independent assessment number 2, identify the purpose, audience, and context of the following situations. Write the purpose on the first line, the letter P, and audience, letter A, on the second line, and context on the third line, the letter C. So a priest, example, student council members meet to talk about school projects. So letter P, what is the purpose? To talk about school project. When we say purpose, what is the intention of the speaker? Why he or she is telling those lines? So Students' Council members meet to talk about school projects. So what is the intention or purpose to talk about school projects? Who is the audience? Member of Students' Council, and the context will be a meeting. So when we say context, what is the situation? Is it a ceremony, a meeting, a conversation, or a play, a drama, like that? So you can have it also. We have examples here. For example, we have conversation here. How are you doing, Alexa? You look troubled. Not fine. Been feeling down since the lockdown started. Got no one to talk to. Nothing to worry, my friend. Got your back. You can tell me what's wrong. Maybe I could help. So the context of this conversation during a catch-up with a friend. So the context will be the conversation, meaning they are talking. When we say context, what is the situation? Conversation, because they are talking to one another. The audience, meaning of the audience, the people involved in the situation. When we say purpose, the intention, why what is the intention of the text? What is the intention of this conversation? To get along with each other, or to have, in Tagalog term, kamustahan. The audience, again, these are the people, context, what is the situation, purpose, the intention. Another example will be another conversation, daughter, mom. So the audience will be obviously the daughter and the mother, while the purpose is to catch up with one another. Context is during snack time. So when you say context, again, the situation. So I hope it will be clear. Again, P stands for purpose or the intention. A, the audience, who are the people involved in the text. And C, context, what is the situation does the text is having. Independent number 3, activity number 3, match the situation in column A with the speech style in column B by writing the number of your answer of the space before each number. Then match the speech style in column B by writing the letter of the dialogue that corresponds to the column C. So you will write, again, match the situations in column A with the speech style in column B. For example, frozen, what will be in letter B, in column D, what will be the frozen there? What will be the formal there? Consultative, casual, and intimate. And then match the speech style in column B by writing the letter of the dialogue that corresponds it from column C. So if you will have response in number 6, talking to a classmate, you will choose the appropriate line, response, or statement from column C. For example, talking to a classmate, what would be the kind of statement? Is it practice social distancing? B, what devices? I really miss our barkada. How are you doing, auntie? This the first COVID-19 case. So again, in column A, you will write 1 to 5. Then you will identify in column B what is the frozen, formal, consultative, casual, intimate. So in 1 to 5, your answers will vary if it's number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you will just write the number. And then in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will just write the letters from column C. I hope it will be clear. But if it is not clear, you may message or have a private message to your teacher, to your English teacher. Fill in the blanks with appropriate information and the different communicative styles. Choose your answer on the word pool. So the word pool will be the experts, speaking, listener, very close, nonverbal, informal, free writing. So we have here the frozen speech style is the blank form of communicative style. So we have blanks here. It's numbers 1 to 10. So you will just write on your answer sheet 1 to 10. Then you will choose answers inside the box, which is more appropriate to each sentence or to each statement. What I have learned. So do you realize now the importance of employing the appropriate communicative style for various situations? Reflect on what you have learned by expressing your insights and realization. So what is your realization? How important to consider the appropriate communicative style? For example, will you use intimate communicative speech style if you are talking to a president of the Philippines? Like that. Then what I can do, help Jamie greet the people she could come across by writing the appropriate greeting for the following situations. So the first one, having snacks with friends. That will be number one. Asking her English teacher about their performance task. Number 2 yon. Then number 3, talking to the school principal. Number 4, leading the flag ceremony. Number 5 will be going to school with her older sister. So I should see, or your English teacher should see 5 appropriate greeting based on the following situation. So you will put yourself into the shoe of Jamie. So if you were Jamie, what will you say? Considering the communicative speech style. Yan. So that be A4. Again, having snacks with friends, asking her English teacher about their performance, talking to the principal, flag ceremony, going to school with her old sister. So we have 5. So the image will be this. It's like recess time, talking to a teacher, talking to a principal, leading a flag ceremony, then to your sister. In the assessment, read and analyze the statements carefully. Write the letter of your answers on the space provided. Excuse me. So you will identify what is consultative speech style in the given choices. Is it letter A, B, C, or D? In number 2, casual. Number 3, you will just answer the questions by picking the correct letter of your answer. So write the number, then the correct letter of your answer. So it's up to 15. Then additional activity, the coronavirus disease caused a lot of changes. One of the changes is how one communicate with others now, that there is limited face-to-face interaction. Now help create a 2-sentence conversation for the following situations. Like the activity that you had a while ago, you will use or you will compose sentences or statements based on the situation. Doctor talking to patient, a business meeting, students talking to their classmates, barangay captain educating people of the health protocols, mother talking to her son who serves as a front-liner nurse. So you will put yourself in the shoe of the speaker or to the audience in a specific number. So number 1, if you are the doctor, what will you say to your patient? If you are a businessman, what will you say in a meeting? If you are a student, what will you say to your classmate? If you are a barangay captain, how will you educate people about the health protocols? Then number 5, mother. If you are a mother, how will you talk to your son as a frontliner nurse? For example, you will let your son understand that you should be far from one another as a sign of safety precaution. So that would be the end. So again, the importance of employing the appropriate communicative styles for various situations, it is because we are having different relationships to other people. As a friend, as a leader, as a professional, as a family member, as a best friend. So it is depending on what kind of relationship we do have to the one we are speaking with. So we should be mindful. So we should not talk to a president like like he is just our close friend, a best friend, that you will say, or you will not be mindful, because sometimes it is a sign of respect, a sign of how your parents taught you, molded you as an individual. So it's very vital and important for us, not only as a student, but also if you will be a professional someday, you should employ these appropriate communicative styles, because the way you speak, the way you move, the way you interact, and the way you having conversation with other people will tell how or what kind of people are you, what kind of person are you. So you should be mindful, and it will be a sign for us if we are really educated, if we are really having respect to the one we are talking with. But it doesn't mean that if you are using casual to your friend, intimate to your family members, to your closest people, it doesn't mean that you don't respect them. It just means that they really earned your respect and your trust. So it's very comfortable for you and for the one you're speaking with to have that kind of conversation. But you should be mindful with the speaker. If you are not talking to your close friend, or if the speaker is professional, a public official, so you should be mindful of the words and by the way you are speaking. So like this, if you don't understand some of the parts, you may talk to your teacher. So what would be the communicative style? You should consider that. Good day and thank you.